Wanted to introduce myself if you haven't met me yet. I'm Christian Avalos. I am your partner success manager for Discovery Education. And I have been with Discovery Education a little over 3.5 years now. 2 of those years, I've had the pleasure of working with Anne Arundel County Public Schools, which is special for me because I'm local. I'm actually in Anne Arundel County in Glen Burnie, so I'm not too far away. I've popped into the Carver Center multiple occasions to assist. And today we're going to be talking about supporting literacy in your classroom using the Discovery Education Experience platform. And I wanted to, if you didn't already, you should be able to get into Discovery Education. If for some reason you can't, I did go ahead and create a demo account. It's just teacher@annearundel.com, a generic username with a generic password, discovery1 with a capital D and the number 1. And so today we're going to be doing some diving into the Discovery Education Experience to kind of get a look at, how we can use Discovery Education to build on our literacy-focused teaching in the classroom. And what I want to do, I'm actually, this PowerPoint really isn't much of anything. We're here to kind of go live to site. So I have a couple things that I wanted to highlight for you as well. I'm going to be working off of this Studio board. If you're not familiar with Studio or Discovery Education Experience as a whole, it is our award-winning K-12 platform to provide, really great content and tools for teachers to engage every single student. The Experience platform really just inspires teaching and learning, provides educators with the tools and the information needed to increase learning and engagement. And it all fits into the systems that teachers use every single day. So it really ensures that teachers and students can access timely and relevant content and use those useful teaching tools in one place. Our multimodal content is a really powerful way to engage students and help them kind of just explore the world around them. And that's what Discovery Education Experience is all about. It's just to give students the opportunity to build on all of those comprehension skills with that high quality, vetted, standards aligned content that you all love. If you're not familiar, of course, we have a whole slew of time-saving tools like our quiz library, ready-to-use activities, really great resources for teaching and collaborating, tons of professional learning support, a global network of educators in our DEN community. So you're able to connect with other like-minded instructors as well. And today, you're not just going to hear about strategies that you can use, but really rich content that you can pair to support literacy in the classrooms. And Discovery Ed really just gives students the opportunity to build on those comprehension skills. So I do want to say, if you have any questions, feel free to raise a hand. Come off of mute. I want to make sure that I answer anything that you decide that you really want to know about. If we cover it, if we move a little fast, I do have a tendency of going a little bit fast, but please feel free to do so. And is everybody, looks like you're not able to see my studio board. Let's go ahead and switch my sharing to window so we can see Discovery Education itself. Please let me know if you can see the actual studio board. Experience literacy with Discovery Ed. Great, got some thumbs up. Fantastic. So Studio is an in-Discovery Education resource that we have. We're going to be able to explore the resources that students have to support their developing literacy skills. And this board was made inside Discovery Ed Experience, and that's going to be made available to you as well. So you'll be able to pull from some of these literacy supports. You can even save it and make it your own if you want to be able to just use that in the classroom as well. So I'll share that with you when we finish up. Now, to start off, a whole lot of skills that come across when we're talking about literacy. Phonemic awareness is, of course, the ability to hear and manipulate the sounds in spoken words, and the understanding that spoken words and syllables are made up of sequences and speech sounds. The phonemic awareness activities that we have involve manipulating sounds at the phoneme level. So they're able to blend sounds, segment sounds, add or delete sounds. You can substitute sounds too. But with the discovery education experience, we're kind of able to gamify those activities as fun, interactive skill games where students can kind of identify rhymes and split and delete syllables. So this exploration that I have here is it's called the rhyming snap. Really just simple, fun game that students can kind of learn to kind of build on those phonemic awareness skills. And of course, this is something that you can adjust and build on, adjust the speed level for. So you're essentially looking to pair the sound with hard. So we weren't able to catch it in time, so it gave us a little number, a little sound. So here we've got king. We're looking for the rhyming pattern or the rhyming card. So we're able to kind of go from there. Flower. So once a student sees the card that it rhymes with, it gives them that chance to test their understanding. And of course, we can adjust the speed on that to allow students a little bit more time. But one of the different kinds of activities that we have an entire slideshows like this sound sequence slideshow. That's also another studio board that can be assigned to students as an actual activity and will help students on segmenting their blending of sounds. This is something that's already pre-made, ready to use activity. All our ready to use activities have teacher notes, and we'll offer guides to kind of help kind of move along the discussion throughout the entire activity. And then, of course, you assign that to your respective classroom in your roster. Now, phonics. Of course, phonics instruction just teaches the relationship of the letters of written language and the sounds of the spoken language. So for children, it's really easy to understand the alphabetic principle. It's the idea of letters representing sounds. So we've got tons of content built around decoding where we use the letter to sound relationships, like this F is for Fox video. It's one of our Sesame Learning resources that we have built in. So it kind of creates that learning that makes it a little bit predictable for students to kind of build that relationship between sounds and letters. Just to kind of give you an idea, it's built into the video player. Students are taught, like, for example, the letter F is for Fox, and the first letter, that concept is introduced in instructional videos to kind of help students along the way. And when students, understand sound, letter, correspondence, they can sound out those words or read and decode new words. We do the same thing with skill builders. They're different explorations that help students practice and develop those phonics skills, but in a fun way. So, we have, for example, this spelling skill builder. This is something that can be assigned as well, saved, and it's essentially like a Words with Friends or an Apple iPhone word game that a student would generally play at home or with a friend. Except we're gamifying that here with the Discovery Education experience. So really great to be able to kind of make. I always say if I can trick a child into learning something, I kind of did my job there. So that's something that we kind of like to highlight there. And the best strategy for developing reading fluency is really just providing students with the opportunities to read and read and read, the same passage several times. Providing students with the opportunities to reread a range of stories or informational texts is really a great way to do so. Including opportunities also for students to hear like a range of texts when read fluently, and expression is a really great way to develop that. So our audio books, our book series, books is a really great channel to kind of incorporate that. There are storybooks that are brought to life with animation and narration, closed captioning as well, so that students can read along. And every book comes with an actual activity. So there is a PDF activity for everyone. So it's not just an instructional video or a virtual book to read. There are activities that will go along with every single one to deepen the learning. And we have some really great features in our PDF viewer, text-to-speech functionality with our read aloud feature. So here you're able to actually hear the action each in the entire PDF or work activity or worksheet that's being completed. We also have fairly common practices like reading ruler that you would typically do in a classroom on an actual piece of paper, and page masking as well. So to help some of our students who have visual impairness to kind of keep them along the same lines as well. So these are just some of the features inside the PDF viewer. You may have them in other services like Immersive Reader. I'm going to cover that a little as well. That's a great Microsoft product that's embedded in all of our studio boards that are really great to help with our focus on literacy as well. And there are tons of vocabulary development resources within the Discovery Education experience. Students are going to be able to build on their vocabulary with a number of channels and video segments that are really designed to support students identify what words mean and how to say them correctly. Simple activities like crossword puzzles as skill builders are always fun activities for students to, familiarize themselves reading passages and interactives. Again, just kind of gamifying that process. These are able to be assigned as activities. You can assign them in groups as well. So if you have a group of students working on one specific crossword puzzle, you can. The same goes for a number of other video content, of other video content that we have. One channel I kind of really wanted to highlight is our Word Girl channel. It's a really popular series that we have at Discovery Education. It follows the adventures of Word Girl. And she fights evil villains, but she learns new vocabulary words every single day. So I wanted to highlight that because the really great thing about Word Girl is that we offer that in a Spanish version as well. So it helps our English language learners build their vocabulary also. And keep in mind, all of our video content has the ability to activate closed captioning as well. So students can read along in English or the language that they're most familiar with, just to kind of give you an idea. All right. But this entire segment and the entire channel itself is available in Spanish also. Now, some of the best ways to improve reading comprehension in the classroom is to identify some areas of interest for students. So you're going to find a ton of content in the Discovery Education experience to supplement their class reading. So you're able to use cross-curricular interactive lessons like science and social studies. These are background builders that are already pre-made as ready-to-use lessons and activities. Audiobooks are also a really great way for students to build on their listening skills, specifically with subject matters that interest them personally. So the audiobooks channel is a K-12 resource that every grade band can choose from to support their reading comprehension outside of the classroom, and they can pull from content that really interests them more. There's a lot of great content that we have. These are links to just channels, and then in each channel there are tons of audiobooks that you're able to pull from. Now we have, of course, tons of ready-to-use lessons. That's one of the most common reasons teachers love Discovery Education experience, because it really just saves them time. So, one less thing to have to plan goes a long way in the instructional day. And over the summer, we had the chance to kind of go through our low prep, no prep course. So it's kind of building off of that. Our sentence fix-its, our practices, our pre-made lessons, they're all here built specifically to make sure that we're able to do exactly that, provide a low to no prep resources for teachers. The sentence fix-its themselves, they're building on all of the literacy components we just walked through: the phonemic awareness, fluency, vocab development. And the fix-its are available on our fix-it calendar, so teachers can actually pull one every single day of the month for students to work on and just build on the work that they're progressively doing. Our educator micro learnings are embedded within the Discovery Education experience, specifically for teachers on how to use Discovery Education resources. And it's just there to help and strengthen their skills and practice their support of developing literacy for their students. Our Professional Learning Now channel offers courses on not just better familiarizing yourself with Discovery Education, but it also provides teachers with ideas and resources to level up their instruction by meeting students at their needs. So each micro learning is only about 3 to 5 minutes. So it's really short, it's personalized, guided learning that will fit into any busy schedule. So if you just need something to be able to pull from, we have it in the Professional Learning Now channel. So of course, that's broken down by teaching and learning, ELL learners, health and wellness, and primary learning. Cohort Connect is another feature that we're starting to add in as well. We also have Marzano Academy's channel, which is grounded in Dr. Marzano's research-based instructional framework. And that's going to support competency-based teaching and learning in the classroom. These are also targeted micro-learnings that more so challenge teachers to transfer what they've discovered in these new practices every day in their day-to-day classroom. So it's just going to highlight Dr. Marzano's research-based instructional strategies, which are actually really built to pair with our Discovery Education resources. So this is something that I wanted to share and highlight with you as well. That's a channel that you can add to your homepage and your My Channels resources. Now, we also have a number of articles kind of just highlighting our literacy supporting features and resources within Discovery Education. Tons of text resources with our PDF viewer, like I showed previously, the read aloud, the reading ruler, of course, immersive reader to kind of allow students to narrow their focus with Discovery Education resources to just really help enhance the student experience. So immersive reader is built into our studio feature. Any studio board is going to be able to pull from the immersive reader tool. And if you're not familiar, of course, it has text to speech capabilities. And there's a number of different features that you can add and change from text size, spacing, increasing, different fonts and colors for visually impaired students to make it a little bit easier for them. We can break down the entire page in syllables, highlight nouns, verbs, adjectives, and of course has ELL functionality as well to be able to translate the entire page into a different language for our English language learners. So if we wanted to go ahead and make that a little bit easier for them in their native language, we're able to do so. And you can translate by the entire document or by a word by highlighting a specific word. And then, of course, the actual picture dictionary listed for all of the words as well. But this is something that I know over the summer, a lot of e-coaches did not know this was a capability of Discovery Education. So I did want to share that it is something that lives within our studio product. It is a Microsoft product, so it's not something exclusive to Discovery Education. So you may already be familiar, but this is how you would be able to incorporate that in your day-to-day. So native translations to make it really easier for our ELL students. Now, some of the channels that I wanted to highlight for you are here, but there are tons that you'll be able to pull from to help students in the classroom to support their literacy. Our reading channel is a great kind of jumping off point to learn about other channels based on reading comprehension, word development, vocabulary development. You'll be able to find segments, lessons, activities to help support literacy in the classroom, and you're able to look for those based on grade band as well. Another channel I wanted to highlight is our Learning for Justice channel. It is a project of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and it examines a variety of different resources on social justice and anti-bias topics to really just help educators create civil and inclusive school communities where children are respected, valued, and welcome participants in all of the conversations in the classroom. So I really wanted to highlight that for you as well. This is a channel that you can add to your resources also. And our literature channel, it's going to showcase books that really take the audience on a fun, kind of unpredictable journey. And it shows readers that there's more than just one way to kind of look at the world. There's a number of different literary genres that open students up to just amazing new places. They're able to hear from authors that have really just inspired generations. So really great channel to add to your My channels and share with your teachers as well. And that is a K-12 resource also. Our Scripps News channel, it's formerly Newsy. It helps students stay informed on today's most important topics and issues with opinion-free news and documentaries. Scripps News is known for their unbiased video news and analysis, and it really documents unique perspectives through really detailed investigations. So they have really honest conversations, sincere reporting. Really one of our more popular functions, our channels in Discovery Education Experience as well, that you can pull from just to keep students, those that would like to, aware. Our Fables and Folktales channel, really popular also. Students kind of get to decipher the themes and characters of fables and folktales. Different cultures, they preserve stories of their history and their heroes through folktales, which, in most cultures were transmitted either orally, accompanied by music and even dance. So it's something really great that you're able to highlight. And of course, fables just use simple characters, more often than not animals, to teach a moral lesson. So, the Folktales and Fables channel really kind of reflects the value of, history and culture in which that they were actually written. So studying folk tables and fables is a really great way to learn about other cultures, past and present, which is a great K-12 resource as well. And of course, our ELA channel kind of just jumps into the entire world of language arts and literacy with tons of explorations and skill builders that you can pull from. There are different quizzes that focus on ELA subject areas and competencies, from digital literacy to reading, spelling, grammar, a whole lot of different content that you can pull from that are kind of pre-made ready activities to use that can be assigned out to your classrooms. And last but not least, our SOS instructional strategies. More often than not, you're going to see an SOS used in the classroom because ACPS is fantastic when it comes to SOS strategies. It's one of our more popular functions in the classroom. We have a channel specifically dedicated to SOS strategies. The last time I checked, there were over 150 different SOS strategies here that you can pull from. And of course, you can pick the actual focus of the SOS strategy depending on subject matter and what you're pulling from. But our top 10 is a great way to kind of start. But I definitely wanted to highlight that for you as well. And that's actually all I have for you for literacy today. I wanted to share a couple of those features, and I wanted to share the link for this studio board because I wanted you to be able. It's not something that I could actually load into the Google Drive. This is something that you can share. You can save and edit it. If you didn't already know, you can essentially pull from any of the studio boards that are pre-made and kind of just make them your own. They're really easy to change. So let's say, for example, you liked the layout of this studio board and you wanted to change it, make it your own. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. And now I can actually take each one of these segments in the studio board and change them as I see fit. So if I wanted to change this from the skill builder crossword puzzle here, I can actually just click the replace button, search DE with the subject matter or the channel or resource that I want. And it's really as easy as adding that to the selection. So if you didn't already know, that's one of the functions that the earlier session I wanted to kind of get a look at and had a question about. But tons of studio boards already built in Discovery Education Experience for you to pull from, so you don't necessarily have to build any one on your own. But other than that, again, that's all I really had to share for you for today with Discovery Education and our focus on literacy in the classroom. Were there any questions, or was there anything that you would like to see me highlight just with some of the remaining time that we have? Meredith, I see you raise your hand with a question.
Where was the equity? You were talking about some articles and stuff that have to do with equity. Where do I find that again? Sorry.
Oh, no, it's a great question. So there's a number of different resources that we have based on equity and inclusion. I believe you were mentioning the one of the literacy channels. So our Learning for Justice channel. So you can add this to your My Channels, and it'll just save on your home screen. As soon as you log in, it's something that you can pull from. And of course, excuse me, there's a number of topics here that you can share, and of course, different frameworks and professional development that you're going to add, and educator resources as well. I can drop the link in the chat just for this channel for you as well. We had a question in the chat. Do you know of a specific vocab builder for ELL students and math terms? Great question, Ms. Shayla. I have a number of different resources for ELL. The first I would share with you is our ELL Center. That channel is specifically going to be focused towards our English language learners. The Content Connections tab is going to pull all of the different resources specifically built out, channels, videos, interactives, and it also highlights native language support resources as well. As far as a vocab builder, so we've got a number of different ones already built here. Let me see if I can pull one. I'll do you one better. We're going to do a blanket search just so you kind of get a look at all of the different resources that you have at your disposal. So we're going to look at a vocabulary builder. If I could type correctly today. Okay, so when we look at any of these resources, so for example, a studio quiz, let's say for the studio quiz. Oh, you mentioned 9 to 12. So let's go ahead and those studio quizzes aren't there built for 9 to 12. Let's try.
It doesn't necessarily have to be 9 to 12 because I'm trying to build fluency for kids that are trying to be in a high school math class, but maybe are behind educationally. So gotcha. You could even think of it as middle school or even elementary level of just terms and terminology, that sort of thing.
So this is one of our SOS instructional videos, our vocabulary scavenger hunt. This is probably going to be an SOS strategy that would really work well for you in the classroom. So it's specifically meant to highlight that. So there's actually a board that we have that is specific to ELL students. Let me share that with you. I have that saved as a board. These are going to be instructional strategies specific to ELL students. And it's something that's actually found in our ELL Center, the channel. But I'll go ahead and drop the link for that also. So we've got a number of different strategies that can be used in the classroom for ELL students to better familiarize themselves and build on their vocabulary as well. And I just put that link in the chat for you, Ms. Shayla. And a whole slew of different strategies to use specifically geared towards ELL learners.
When I clicked on that link, I got a "you don't have permission"
That may be my copy. I'll show you the click path.
Okay.
It also may be, Shayla, if you go to ClassLink first and open Discovery Ed,
Oh, okay. Let me do that.
then you might actually, he may be right, and it may be that the link won't work for us because we have AACPS accounts. But I would try that first. Open Discovery Ed and let it log you in, and then you might be more successful with the link.
It is a public studio board. So to pull that board, if you go to the ELL Center, the English Language Learner Center channel, and go over to the Instructional Support tab, that's the very first studio board here, SOS for ELL. And this is where you'll see a number of other supporting documents, videos, and strategies, built out studio boards for that also. Any other questions at all?
I actually have a question about content. I'm trying to save some of this to my school content.
Mhm.
There's like, it's school content, school playlist. Like it's like 18 folders.
Yes. So what you want to do is save it to my content. The school.
Well, I want to be able to share it with my faculty.
So share it as your content first, and then to your school content. That way it has something to pull from. Otherwise, it's just going to pull up a blanket link, which we may find the same error through ClassLink that Shayla was coming across. Because of course you need to make sure that you're logged in to the single sign-on to be able to pull any of that info. But save it to your content first, and then try the school folder.
Okay, so I have it in my content. So then I would go to my content, the folder, and then share.
Yes.
I mean, I see a link. I see Google Classroom.
So you can add it to your class link as well, just with the link. But once you, let's say, for example, this is something in my content. You may not have you may not have the ability as an administrator to save to your school content, depending on your profile access.
Okay.
So that may likely be it. If you're not a site administrator at your school, you're not going to be able to add that to the district.
Or choose the one that works.
And Christian, that's something we can look into for Maggie.
I'm going to keep trying. It's just, no joke, there are 5 folders that say school content. And like, you have to get down to like the 5th or 6th folder to find anything to put it in.
So I know that's something that Carrie and I have had a conversation about over the summer, about being able to share or essentially cleaning out the district and school content, because it may be a lot of old materials there. But that is likely the issue that you're coming across. You don't have the admin rights to add to the school content or district content, and there's still a lot more information there that needs to be essentially archived.
Thank you.
No, that's a great point. That was a great question, because that's actually something that we have been discussing, so that anything that the instructional technology team wants to share out with all of the e-coaches can be put directly into the school content folder. So that's going to revisit that conversation. So thank you so much for that.
Another question, sorry. I recently switched schools. Would it have already updated?
That depends on the nightly roster sync. It should, you should still be it's supposed to update every single night. Sometimes it doesn't. But if you wanted to, we can touch base offline just to make sure that you're at the correct school that you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I actually just checked my profile. I could probably find all this stuff, but it's quicker to ask. Sorry.
If you open the profile panel for your profile, you should see a view profile and a school listed there. If you're rostered at multiple schools, you'll see a switch school option here.
Okay.
But that's where you're able to see what school you're rostered to.
Perfect. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. And other than that, I did see that the attendance for this session, the link was dropped, the Google form. So you have that. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to be counted, but if you have any questions moving forward, my contact information is with the instructional support team. Very happy to touch base with you if you need any additional help.
All right. Thank you, Christian. As always, if you guys need to linger, you want to ask individual questions or anything like that, you guys can hang around here a couple minutes. I'll stay in the call. Christian will stay in the call if he's available. If not, we thank you guys for coming. Do make sure that you get that attendance form. There is one for every session. So just because you filled it out before lunch, you want you to fill it out again. There's one for every session. So make sure you fill that out before you guys drop off the call. And then we'll see you for the next round at 1:30. So you guys get a little bit of a break here. But again, if you have questions, linger with us and get those answered.
Thanks, everyone.
I did try to I tried to do it through Bing on because it wasn't working through Chrome. I went through ClassLink and then I logged in to Discovery Education through ClassLink, and then I clicked on the link and it's still saying that I don't have permission.
For the SOS ELL board?
Yeah, the thing that you sent me.
Are you in Discovery Education at all right now?
Hold on, let me. Of course, I said that after I closed everything down.
He can give you the path to get directly
I'm
to
in
it.
Discovery Education right now, and I like open my profile picture. It says Shea Local Carney and all that.
Okay, can you go over to the ELL Center and the channels?
Here, I can just click the, and this will delete my personal account.
All right, hold on a second. I was getting there by.
I'm gonna stop sharing. What I want you to do is share your entire screen.
If you don't see it there, you can just do a blanket search for ELL, and it should.
That's,
Be there.
that's what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, so once you go to the ELL Center, you want to click over to the Instructional Support tab.
Okay.
And the very first slideshow, top left, should be SOS for ELL.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right. So
Is that opened up for you?
don't.
It is spinwheeling,
This
and
is
yes,
gonna
it is now
create
open and up in
a
front of me.
Awesome.
So just click
Thank
on something else. Yeah, just put it on another tab.
All
All
right,
right. So you see your space in the circle.
I'm gonna
over there?
stay on the call just for a little bit because I just want to look in it real quick.
No.
And if I have any questions, I'll
click on
touch base with you. Is that okay?
So
Yeah,
over
absolutely.
above
You can
where it says
shoot me
all
an email.
bookmarks,
I'm
You see the
available
face.
whenever you
Okay.
need.
click on that.
All right. Thanks for having me. Hope you have a
All
great
right.
one.
So this is your okay. So click on the gear where it says other
Oh,
programs.
thanks, Maggie. Very sweet. I just saw your comment. Thanks.
You're
Gone
welcome.
on-
I'm used
gone
to seeing you with
natural.
long, colorful hair. I like it.
Oh no, now I'm just it's Mother
It looks-
Nature's color now.
It looks highlighted.
No, that's
Oh,
not your
thank you.
personal.
I
At
guess
least on
Mother
the movie,
Nature's not that
I
cruel.
haven't seen you in like so long. It's ridiculous, but I love the shape. It looks good with your face and everything. I like it.
But
Thank
there's-
you.
Not that
Aren't you
not the
sweet?
old hair looks bad by any means, but I like this.
Oh, very, very cool. Yeah, I get a lot of comments around the office as we go back through some old stuff and we're
Yes.
looking at things and it's like, oh my God, your hair's changed like 700 times. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very good at that. My Bitmoji is kept up to date with
Yes.
all the crazy changes and everything. But thanks. So where are you now?
I don't see
Chesapeake High.
Oh, okay. So you switched from middle over to high school. I
Yeah.
see that. I see that in your
Yeah, and I
in
mean,
your profile now.
honestly, I could have like just not asked and probably found it as quickly, but
All right.
I figured might as well ask.
Are you in the correct school though? Because we can move you
Yes,
if you're
I
still
am.
Oh, good. Okay.
I am
Yeah,
listed
it'll definitely
and-
affect whether or not you see your students if you're trying to use the ability to assign from
Yeah.
within Discovery Education. You want to make sure you see the correct roster of students and everything in there. So if
Yeah.
you're not at the right school, you're definitely not seeing your kids.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I managed to delete all of the like extra content files. So it looks like maybe someone in the past had tried to add stuff to content and just kept creating folders and not naming them. Like it was weird. I just deleted
Mm,
everything because the
okay.
last time it was used was 2008. So
Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
that's probably not super current, right?
nope.
That's
I just
you know,
deleted it and started from
it's 15
scratch.
years ago. Whew,
Yeah.
wow, that's a
So
while ago. Okay. Yeah.
anyway,
But if you don't have the ability to add to school content, let me know. We can look into that for you. And then, I don't know that we have a specific protocol, but we might, reach out to your content coordinator and be like, "Are you okay with this?" or something like that. Like I said, we haven't really had a lot of issues with that, but yeah, we love the sharing. So,
yeah,
anything
no,
you can do to kind of
it's
promote that
actually
is great.
there. I'm actually gonna look and see if I can add to high or the district real
You
quick.
may, if you were a curriculum writer or something at one time, you may have permission for that. Yeah.
It looks like I do for certain courses.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, no, anything that's in here I can add on to. So I have blanket access, it looks like.
Okay. Just be careful. With great power comes
Oh
great
yeah.
responsibility.
Oh yes, definitely. Awesome. All right, I'll see you later.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye, Maggie. Nice to see you.
You too.
Shayla, you got
Yeah,
everything you
sorry,
needed? Yeah.
I don't have
I-
another question about discovery. I do have a question. Do you know of any game that allows you to sort 3 things, like 3 or more, maybe 4? So like kind of like the sort
Specifically like
monster
3
thing.
categories.
Yeah,
Specifically 3 categories.
yeah,
So, yeah, I know that most of the ones by default only allow like 2 categories. Like if you're
yeah.
working in Nearpod or Lumio or something like that, they kind of give you 2 buckets to put things into. Um, Smart Notebook did have something called an activity builder that
Mhm.
allowed you to create as many buckets as you wanted.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much your only restriction was how much space you have on your screen.
Okay.
It is in Notebook only and doesn't function if you take that Notebook file and put it into Lumio. So you would have to be locked into using Notebook. So if it's something that you wanted to be able to push out to the kids, you wouldn't be able to do that. But
So I
if it's
couldn't
something
gamify it. It could just be something where they
you
would go
could
to the board
gamify it
and
if they
use.
came up to the board. Yeah, yeah, you
That's
can. It,
fine. I only had that a few students, so that
so
I
what
knew.
I'll find, give me a second and I'll find you the directions for doing the activity builder. Do you if you you should have Notebook installed on your, there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how long it's been since you've opened Notebook, but one of the options in the tabs down the left-hand side on Notebook is the puzzle piece, which has uh, different interactives in it and things like that.
Right.
One of them is called the activity builder, and when you click
Right.
on it, it looks kind of like a little toolbox.
Yeah.
And what the activity builder allows you to do is put an object on the screen, like a circle, and select it and make it what they call an active object.
Okay.
Um, okay.
I'm sure I did this before for something else. I just haven't done it for a
It's
long time.
honestly been a really, really, really long time since we even
Yeah.
talked about it, because
Yeah.
we have kind of transitioned away from a lot of talk about and a lot of trainings
Sure.
on Notebook to
Okay.
more on Lumio. But what you can do, so that circle I was describing, you can make it what they call an active object, which means it will accept or reject other objects.
Okay.
So when students drag an object to it, if it's correct, it accepts it. And
There's
usually
that,
the
that
animation is,
vortex thing and have like a spinning vortex. Does that sound?
well, those were the old Flash.
Oh,
So this
right.
is even different than the old Flash stuff.
Wow. I'm going
By
way back.
default, what it does is it basically it works on animation, which
Okay.
from PowerPoint. You can have things
Sure.
when you click, they disappear, they fade in, they fade out.
Right.
You can have them spin, things like that. So all of these would be examples of animations, and this is actually
Right.
why it doesn't work in Lumio, because Lumio doesn't support animations.
Okay.
So by default, the active object is set to accept things that you tell it are right answers, and those things fade out. That's the animation.
Okay.
Things that are wrong answers based on your answer key it's bounce out or something
Sure.
like that. Bounce back, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Bounce back. So those things drop back onto the screen
Okay.
from where they were dragged from.
Sure.
So you set up the circle, you put all the things, maybe they're words, on the screen, and then when the kids drag them in, if they're right, they disappear. If they're wrong, they bounce back. You can
Okay.
have a square, and your square has a different set of right answers, and you can have a triangle that has a different set of right answers, and all
Yeah.
of these things are set to accept and reject.
Okay.
So what I dropped into the chat over there for you is a PDF that
Okay.
walks you through setting up the activity builder.
Oh, awesome.
in notebook. And then really the only trick is it has to stay in notebook. So you'd either have to have laptops or desktops available in your room if you wanted the kids to be able to open it individually, and then everybody gets a copy of the notebook and they all open it, or they're all working on it on the smartboard.
I have such a small ELL class right now. It's only 3 students, so it's like they could easily just do it.
It's
at
not
a
so bad to have them just do it up at the smartboard.
and they
Yeah,
love being at the smartboard. So and it was like 1 student as of 2 classes ago. Now it's 2, and I get my 3rd student tomorrow. So
okay, yeah.
it's building as it goes, but like
Yeah, this is,
That's
it's,
great.
I
Thank you.
think this is what you're looking for then, because you can have
Yeah.
as many active objects as you need on the page.
Fantastic.
The trick is just space. You know, if you run out of room, it gets clunky.
Okay.
Look at the very bottom of the directions, because it has something about changing the animation. Again, I don't like the fact that when it's correct, it fades out, because I
Okay.
want to be able to look at it when I'm done and see all the right
Right.
answers.
Mhm.
Now they're all gone. So it actually
Oh, okay.
has how to change the animation.
Okay.
And one of the ones I prefer is like spin.
Oh,
So
okay.
they get the confirmation, it's spun to tell them that they're right, but then it
Mhm.
just sits there on the screen inside of the circle. And when they're done,
Okay.
they can review everything that was correct
Cool.
by just looking at the activity.
Great.
Reach out to me if you have any trouble getting that
Sure.
set up, and we can jump into a Google Meet and I can help you out, or come out to
Okay.
the school, or whatever I can do to
No.
support you in using that. But I think with the
Yeah.
directions, you'll probably be good to go.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what I was looking for. I don't need it to be gamified. I just needed one more sort category.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
no, you
and
did
this
great.
one, you're not limited at all. You can have as
Okay.
many as you want, as long as you've
Great.
got space on the screen. So
Awesome.
awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you so
I'll see you in a
much.
later session.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.